Section 9. Private property shall not be taken for public use without just compensation. In my understanding, the state shall ensure that owners of real property acquired for national government infrastructure projects are promptly paid just compensation. Section 10. No law impairing the obligations of contracts shall be passed. In this section, contract is impaired only if the relative position of the parties to a contract, example, equality that is assumed when the contract was entered into, is distributed by the operation of a taxing statute. Section 11. Free access to the courts and quasi-judicial bodies and adequate legal assistance shall not be denied to any person by reason of poverty. In this section, people have the right to have speedy, impartial, and public trial, the right to meet the witnesses face to face, the right to have compulsory process to secure the attendance of witnesses, and the production of evidence in his behalf. In addition, this constitutional provision imposes a duty on the judicial branch of the government which cannot be taken lightly. Section 12. Any person under investigation for the commission of an offense shall have the right to be informed, to remain silent, and to have competent and independent counsel, preferably of his own choice. If the person cannot afford the services of counsel, he must be provided with one. These rights cannot be waived except in writing and in the presence of counsel. Second, no torture, force, violence, threat, intimidation, or any other means which vitiate the free will shall be used against him. Secret detention, place, solitary, incommunicado, or other similar form of detention are prohibited. Any confession or admission obtained in violation of this or Section 17 hereof shall be inadmissible in evidence against him. Fourth, the law shall provide a penal and civil sanctions for violations of this section as well as compensation to and rehabilitation of victims of torture or similar practices and their families. In this section is also known as the Bill of Rights. First, any person under investigation has a right to remain silent in this Constitution. People have a right to have competent and independent counsel, preferably of his own choice. Second, in this section, it is prohibited to engage in torture, force, violence, threat, intimidation, or any vitiate the free will of a person. Third, it is also based on Section 17 that no person shall be compelled to be a witness against him. And lastly, no person shall be held to answer for a criminal offense without process of law. Section 13. All persons except those charged with offenses punishable by reclusion perpetua when evidence of guilt is strong shall, before conviction, be payable by sufficient sureties or be released on recognizance as may be provided by law. The right to bail shall not be impaired even when the privilege of the right of habeas corpus is suspended. Excessive bail shall not be required. In this section, it indicates to bail depends on crime and evidence of guilt, the security required by a court, and given for the provisional or temporary release of a person who is in the custody of the law, conditioned upon his appearance before any court is required under conditions specified.